Suresh Wathan is with me in the studio today from Harmony Capital, who are the investment managers for Adamas Finance Asia. Good to see you. Welcome along.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, you came on board back in May last year,
That's
May
correct,
2017,
yeah.
as part of a refocus in the investment policy here. So talk us through the new strategy, the new direction
Sure,
for
happy
Adamas
to.
Asia.
Well, Adamas Finance Asia has been around for several years. However, the original strategy when it was, I guess, created and listed was really to focus on Chinese private credit investment opportunities, which continues to be a very significant opportunity in the Asian markets. However, we felt that a more pan-Asian approach was appropriate, particularly because there are so many more opportunities on a pan-Asian basis, not just in China. And for that reason, the board and the company felt that it was a good idea to bring in an investment manager that would focus on a more pan-Asian basis and not just focus on China. And that was exactly what happened on the 1st of May. So we were appointed, but we also changed the investment policy by formal vote, shareholder vote. Mm-hmm. And so we're on our way with a new kind of focus, as you said.
And so where are you looking for these potential investments then?
China continues to be a focus because you can't be pan-Asian and ignore China, because China is the biggest economy in Asia, obviously, or at least outside of Japan. And it is the biggest economy in Asia. But we're looking in other markets where we've had experience investing historically, Harmony Capital has. And those markets include markets like Indonesia, Australia, Singapore.
Right.
We're looking at companies in Hong Kong to invest in, for example. We haven't yet started to focus on countries like India because we have our plate full as it is. But as I said, the experience of the team and the policies allows us to look basically anywhere in Asia for good opportunities.
And what do you consider a good opportunity? What kind of companies are you looking at?
That's a great question. I think our focus is still private investing, private companies. As you may know, Asia is a very interesting market because most of the economy is unbanked, meaning that most private companies, whether it's in China, where the opportunity has been very well documented, or it's in countries as developed as Australia, private middle market companies still find it hard to either borrow money from banks or find money from capital markets.
Right.
So there is a very big opportunity for alternative investment managers like us, alternative financiers, to provide that capital in varying structures, usually at a higher rate of return than a traditional bank because we're more expensive capital. So that's really where we are, sort of focused, and we will continue to focus because the opportunity is very substantial across the region.
And what about sectors?
We remain sector agnostic because we think being a listed company, being a permanent capital vehicle, we're investing for the long term. So therefore, we don't focus on any particular industry. We're looking at markets and as I said, sectors more agnostically. Having said that, a number of the thematics obviously shine through in Asia, which are consumption driven, a rising middle class, things like healthcare, which is an adjunct to a rising middle class and people wanting